here. Okay, awesome. So what we're doing today is we're going to put together a CMA, and we'll do a market analysis and a supply and demand for one of Marisol's listing appointments that she has coming up this week. The property address is 987 Northwest 126th Avenue in Coral Springs. This property actually canceled after being on the market for 10 days. And it was listed for $390,000. Marisol, so let me ask you: when you spoke to her, when you spoke to this seller, did they say why their house went off the market?
Yeah, you know what he said? I have to fix a little problem that I have, but he didn't want to tell me what. So I'm hoping that when I talk to him on Friday, I will be able to find out what is the problem. You know?
Okay. All right. So, and he's not going back with his agent, right?
Well, he didn't say anything about that, but he say, I do want to sell it.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So in this one, they canceled the listing, meaning that the seller is released from their contract with the listing agent. So they're not withdrawn. It's not temporarily off market. It's canceled. It is for you to go get. So I love it. All right. So the first thing I do is I try to gather as much information about the property as possible. So some of the information that I'm going to need is the previous listing that they have. And I'm looking for a couple different things on here. Marisol, what I'm looking for specifically is the square footage. I do want to know what the square footage is of the home. Okay. So in this case, it is 1862. I'm also looking at the lot square footage, 7906. All right, and that's the lot, and I'll explain why I do that in a little bit. Okay. The rest of the information, as of right now, really doesn't matter to me. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm also going to go to the tax records. Now, mm-hmm. I can either go to bcpa.net, mm-hmm. or I can click on
the MLS.
I can click on this folio number right here, and that will take me to IMAP.
IMAC. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But
you can go to IMAC, and from IMAC you can go to BCPA.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. So I'm just going to go through here, 987, 126th Avenue. Okay, perfect. Here, what I'm really looking for is this right here. I really want to pay attention to the legal description, because I like to start my my CMAs looking at the subdivision and then working my way out from there. So I'm going to be looking at homes that's in Lakeview West. Mm-hmm. Lakeview West 158-44. That's pretty much what I'm going to kind of focus on. All right. So let's go back.
Actually, last night I went and drive around to make sure I get the area. You know what I mean? That is. So I went and drop around to see where are the homes, like where could be comparables. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I do my CMAs, I do all my CMAs through Matrix. I don't use RPR or anything like that. I do everything through Matrix because that's going to give me a pretty good idea of what's happening in the real estate world. Okay. And if I go up to my Matrix and I click on my CMAs right over here, what I'm going to do is start a new CMA. The reason I like using this method is because it gives me a nice little wizard. All right, from start to finish, literally from start to finish. I get to put all the pages that I want to have into my listing presentation. Preferably, I like to have these 5 documents. So cover sheet.
Let me copy it.
Mm-hmm. Cover sheet with the agent photo, CMA map, the summary list, price adjustments, and photo gallery. Now, if you were to go over here to the available pages and just highlight everything and bring everything over, you can see that's going to be about 60 different pages. You don't want to do too much.
No, right? No, exactly. Something that is easy for them to see.
Exactly. This right here is going to give us maybe 8 to 10 pages.
Okay.
Okay. So once you put everything in here the first time, all you got to do is set as default.
Okay.
And then every time you come in to do a CMA, you're going to have these 5 documents in here.
Perfect.
All right. So you get to select the pages that you want. You get to select the subject property. You could put it by the MLS number, by the tax number. You can manually put in all the information if you want. I like to always have the MLS number. That way I'm just getting some of the information in there. I like it because it also puts together a nice little cover page. You could put a picture of the home for the seller. You put their contact information right here. You're going to select the comparables. You'll see that all the homes in the comparables, this shows the map of where the homes are in the area. You can easily make some adjustments. And I actually turn off pricing recommendation because I don't want to give them a pricing recommendation. I want to give them a range, and I want them to tell me the price. But I want to tell them we're going to price it between here and price it between here. Where, Mr. Seller, where should we be? Okay.
And how you turn the price off just by clicking it?
Yeah, I don't have it off. I mean, I have it off because one of the pages is pricing recommendation.
See, but what I mean is how you take it off. You just click and it will go off?
Well, the pages right here, this one that says pricing recommendation, I don't have this in here. So when I don't have it in here, it takes it off of there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And then at the very end, I can either print the CMA or I can email it to them. Okay, and it makes a nice little presentation, and this is what I use for my clients. Okay, so let's go from the very beginning. We're going to start out. We're going to put in the client's name of who's in the database. In this case, we're just going to let's use just my name.
Put my name if you can.
All right, let's put your name.
Okay. You can email it to me.
There you go. Marisol, is it 2 L's?
2 L's, right.
Okay, what's your email address, Marisol?
Phillips.marisol 954 at gmail.com.
Perfect. So I have this right here, and I'm putting you are the seller.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So now I'm going to go to pages. We already selected that. Now I'm going to put my subject property. So we know is in the MLS, and I already have an MLS number for this property. So I'm going to search the MLS for the previous time it was listed. Okay. There is no picture available. However, I have a lot of the information is already pre-populated in there. Okay. So this is another thing that you're going to want to do when you're on this page. You're going to want to just verify this information. So we know this is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. How many stories is this house? Do you know?
2.
2 stories. Okay. And it has a pool, and it shows that there is a driveway. Okay. It has the square footage that's in here, and the year it was sold. The year it was purchased. I'm sorry, built. Okay. You're going to want to go in here to custom fields, and you're going to want to add this numbers as well. So you're going to link to a matrix field. You're going to select the field that you want and then give it a label. So I added numbers of cars in the garage. I added if it's a waterfront home, yes or no. And I'm putting improvements and contributions. We're going to leave that in there for later on. But put this stuff in, and then same thing. You're going to want to save this as a default so that these 4 things always populate every time you do a CMA.
Okay.
So we know that this has a 2-car garage. It's not on the water, and we don't know. We're not talking about improvements or contributions yet. I use that for my adjustments down the road.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go on to the next slide. I have Marisol's name right here. I could put her address. I could put her picture in, and you put your picture in down here, your information.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to select the comparables. We're going to add from listings. And what I'm going to do is I start from map search. Some people will say, I want to put the address in here and then go a mile out, 2 miles out. I don't like doing that. I like to start from that subdivision.
From the map. I agree, because a half a mile, it could be a different subdivision.
Right across the street, it could be a completely different subdivision.
Which it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to map search, and I'm going to search for the address. So 987 Northwest 126th Avenue. 126th Avenue. I'm going to find it on the map. So now I'm going to look. What I'm looking for specifically is the subdivision.
And I tell you, it is because I went up yesterday. I can tell you which one is. It's
well, hold on. The subdivision is going to be all this.
Is that one plus the other one?
All this.
Yeah, that's it, I think.
And it looks like.
No, this is a different. The other one is a different one.
This is all different.
See, I think I
have a funny feeling this is all the same, and it might be wrong.
No, maybe. Yes. No, that's true. But
we know that these homes are completely different.
Yes, no, you're right. It's all the way like that, like those four.
And you can see that they're, the neighborhoods, they start to look a little bit differently.
Yes, across the street is different. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is select polygon.
Yes.
And I'm going to highlight the entire area that I want to do my searches in.
Yes.
I'm going to include that in my search. And I'm going to click OK. So now I'm only limiting my search to just these homes in the area.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
What I want to do is I want to click active, backup, closed, pending, expired. Okay, now the reason I'm looking at all of these different statuses is because it's going to give me an idea of what's happening in their community. That's not going to tell me how much the house is worth. This is just going to give me an idea just of what's happening in the neighborhood.
You don't click in cancel or in withdraw? No.
Nope, don't care about them.
So only close, backup, pending, and expire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect.
So I'm also going to look to make sure that the homes were all the same type. So this is a single family home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm going to click single family home here, single family home there. All right. And I want to see what this number comes out down here. This number says 13. So there are 13 active listings, 13 listings that fits that description.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and take a look at them. If I sort by status, I can see there are 2 active, 1 backup, 6 closed sales, 2 pendings, and 2 expireds. Okay. So in order to determine the value of the home, we only want to look at the closed sales. All right. However, since we're looking at selling the home, I want to see what other things are happening in the area. So I know that these other 2 homes at $399 and $376, those are our competition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know that for this home and these homes, the ones that expired, $379 and $359, the market already rejected those prices. Okay. So we can always take a look a little bit to see exactly why, why the market rejected that price. And most likely it's because of condition.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Condition or the pricing. You have activity here from 359, which is backup, 380 and 400. So it's showing that I'm looking at this and I see a pretty healthy neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
There's activity, there's things happening. All right. But if I look at this right here, I see 2 different neighborhoods. I see Lakeview West, I see Vizcaya, and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go by what the agent entered in. I'm going to add a new field, and I'm going to put in legal description. Oops, I lost it. Insert column, legal description. All right. And now I'm going to sort, I'm going to see what this is. So remember, I know that by looking at this, the subdivision is Lakeview West 158. So I'm looking at this. This is all Lakeview West 158-44. Okay, so it looks like it was 2 subdivisions because of the subdivision name. But when I'm looking at the
description,
the legal description, it's just all the same. These are good comps. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm only going to collect I'm only going to select the closed
Look,
sales because that's really only the thing I could use to develop the
exactly.
value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I just wanted to see what is happening. I want to see how much
Exactly.
competition is out there. So I'm
Yes.
going to select the comps that I want to use and mark add selected. All right. So now on my CMA wizard, you see, I only have those 6 that's there, and that's what I'm going to choose from. Okay.
And some of those were sold by someone in Colorado Springs, Keller Williams, Colorado Springs.
Yep. Probably.
I don't remember the and I printed the page and I don't know what I did with it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it probably. But I'm looking at this and I'm seeing homes are selling anywhere between 293 to 401. All right. So the next thing I want to do, so now I know I'm looking at homes that's all in the same neighborhood. Now what I want to do is make sure I'm looking at homes that are all similar comps. By the way, I love Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, I had that for lunch yesterday.
Okay. Good to know, Mike.
Yeah. Yep. I love Chick-fil-A. I had it yesterday for lunch. Okay, so now what I want to do is find homes that are about the same size. I really don't care about the 3-bedroom versus 4-bedroom for this. Okay. But I want to make sure that they're about the same size. So what I'm looking at is the 1862, the square footage over there. And I want to select homes that are plus or minus 20% of the 1862 square foot that we have on the tax record. So I'm going 1862 times 20%. I'm sorry. 1862 plus 20% is going to tell me, is going to say it's homes as big as 2234. And if I went 1862 minus 20%, it's homes 1489. Okay. So what I'm doing is I want to look at homes that are between 1489 square feet and 2234 square feet. Okay. So if I sort by square foot living area, this one right here at 2,500 square feet, this one might be a little bit too big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want to something I do want to double check on this home is I might look at the tax record.
Yes, because sometimes it's wrong.
Exactly. Sometimes it's wrong.
I always do that too.
I want to make sure that it truly is 1,600 square, 2,500 square feet or whatever that was.
You can click in here where it says PID. Wait, go down. You see in the top where it's in the very top of the page.
Okay.
Very top. You see where it says it says PID?
No.
PID, property information. 4A, 41. You see it,
yes,
no?
Yes.
Click in there.
Oh, yeah. No, I know that one. Okay, I'm sorry. That was to get to the tax record. I was actually showing because you can actually scroll down right here and look at building information and see that it says living area is 2,500 square feet. Okay. So this one is a much bigger property. Okay. So I'm not going to use this one. I'm actually going to click, I'm going to kick this one out because this one is too big.
Okay.
It's not the same size home.
Okay.
So let's get him out of there. Cool. Now we only have these 5. Okay. I said 2234. This one is 2266. I'm not going to make a difference on 30 square feet. That's like a closet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm not going to make a difference on that one. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the map. And we see that everything is in the same area. And I'm going to go to my adjustments now. Now, I'm not looking at this number yet. I'm not looking down here yet because those numbers are going to throw me off. Okay, so I don't look at that numbers on the very bottom until the very end. But I want to go ahead and start making some adjustments right now. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through here and let's see what's different. The county's the same, the neighborhood's the same, the bedrooms. Okay, so we have a 4-bedroom in here, and we have the rest of them are 3 bedrooms. Because I have multiple 3 bedrooms that are the same, I have at least 3 closed sales. I might actually kick that 4th bedroom out of there. Sorry, I might kick that 4th one out of there. Or I don't have to necessarily kick it out. I can maybe keep it in and just make an adjustment for it. So that's a complete judgment call. It's completely up to you. What do you think we should do?
I think we have enough. If we have at least 3, we can take it out, right?
Yep, let's kick it out. I don't mind kicking out because we have some others. I want to make as few adjustments as possible.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna kick that one out. Remove selected. Now we're down to these 4. All right. So this one is a 3-bedroom and 0 half baths, and the rest of these are 2 and 1. I'm not going to make much of a difference here because this one might actually be 2 full baths and 1 half bathroom. Okay, so I'm not going to make too much of a difference on there. All right. Now, when I go into the house, if I find out that it truly is, they have a shower and a bathtub in the downstairs bathroom, great. Then I'll make it a plus. Okay. But I'm not going to make too much for right now, especially because it's still an unknown for me. Okay. So now the 2 stories we're going to see, are these homes similar? All right. So now the pool. This home has a pool, and only one other has a pool there. Okay. So it depends on what kind of pool this home has. If it's a screened in patio, if it's not a screened in patio. On this one, we can't tell because there's
no pictures.
There's nothing. But if you go to property history, the last time it was sold in 2010, they have some pictures. So let's take a look at those pictures. I want to see. Now, this isn't what it looks like now. This is what it looked like 10 years ago. So this one does have a nice pool. It's on the outside. It is on the waterfront. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and make a $15,000 adjustment for the pool.
Okay.
All right. Now, remember that $15,000 is completely arbitrary. Nothing in the world says that a pool is worth $15,000.
Just like calculation, like
it's an estimation, yeah. So ask yourself, if you were a buyer, how much more would you, if house A and house B were the same? The only difference is
how much would I would pay for the one for the pool?
How much more would you pay for it? Not how much does it cost to install it. No. How much more would you pay for it? So let's go ahead and make a $15,000 adjustment. I'm adding $15,000 to the comp, okay? Because remember, we only make adjustments to the comparable. We don't make any adjustments to the subject property. So I'm going to put $15,000 there, $15,000 there, $15,000 there. I just gave them all some money. Okay. We already made an adjustment for the square footage. So they're all the same. They're all similar. I don't care about days on market. I want to make sure that the year built is around the same time as well. This one is built around 2000, 2002. It's the same. Okay. If this one was 1974 and this one is 2014, I'm changing. I'm kicking one out because they're completely different designs and everything. All of them have a 2-car garage. This one says it's not on the water. For some reason, it says not on the water, but we know it is.
It is? I don't think it is, Mike.
Yep, I'm done.
John.
So it is because I saw one of these pictures here.
Because I think it is, let me see, in the backyard.
Let's see, where's the picture? I just saw it.
The last one in the backyard.
I lost it.
I think it is in the water. I think it's a fence there, like bushes, but no water. I don't know.
That's bushes, not the water.
I think it's bushes.
Actually, I think you're right. That looks like it is bushes over there. Okay, cool. We're not making any adjustments for water then. All right.
No, and actually, you know what? It's not, because when I went to see it last night, those bushes, after that, I think it's a street.
Okay.
See.
All right. All right. So now I have this. Now I'm going to come and look at some of these prices, and I want to see what's going on here. So you have homes as 401 and as low as 293. That 293 is kind of an outlier. Something's different about that one than the rest of them. So I'm going to go take a look at these comps now to find out what's going on with this one. Why did this one sell so low? I want to see if it's a short sale. I want to see if it's a foreclosure. In this case, it says REO, which means it is a foreclosure.
Foreclosure.
All right, and it's not a short sale. So this one is a foreclosure. Now, being it's a foreclosure doesn't mean that it's going to be valued less.
No, exactly.
But if I have 3 others here that are not foreclosures or not short sales, I'd rather use those. So let me see these other two. Not short sale, not foreclosure. No, yes, this one is a short sale. And look, this one priced a little bit, pretty on the low end also. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull out that foreclosure because that foreclosure looks like it's bringing down the price a lot. All right, we know that with the short sale, most banks right now are still getting market value for their home or near market value, whereas a foreclosure, they're gonna get below market value a lot of times. So I'm gonna kick this one out. You agree with me on that one?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to select it, remove selected. Now I only have 3 comps now. So I'm going to keep these 3 comps here. Okay. And look, I'm keeping an eye on these numbers, but I'm not making any changes yet. Now, if you've noticed, I haven't made any adjustments for the kitchen, for the pool, or anything like that, but the bedrooms, because I don't know what they look like. But what I am going to do is I'm going to see if there's any other adjustments or anything else that's going to really make this one completely different. All right. Okay. So I'm looking down here to see if the seller made any contributions. In this case, he did not. Let's go to number 2. Did he make any contributions to the buyer on that sale? No, he did not. And on this one, VA, no, he did not.
Valeria Prasnik.
Okay, Valerie Prasnik. Okay, she sold that one. Good. So, all right, perfect. So we have 3 different sales, no contributions. Now this is where we're going to make improvement. We're going to verify improvements on the house. Okay. So do you know if he made any adjustments to any upgrades, or did he do anything different?
No, I haven't seen the house, and I haven't talked with him about that.
Okay.
But okay. I can find out tomorrow.
Okay. So based on this, what I'm seeing, if I'm looking at a CMA price, I'm seeing an average between 373 and 401. Okay, I see an average 373 or a median price of about 401.
Let me take a picture of that.
Okay, now I prefer to go by the median price here, but this one right here, that's kind of this one's kind of throwing us off. This 300. Now, when you go to the house, if you were to go in with a range in your head saying your home is between 373 and 401, and then you see that it's much worse than a lot of the other competitors, right? Then we're going to price it closer to the 373 side. However, if when we go to the house we find out that it is in much better condition than everyone else, we're going to go closer to the 401 side. So let's just take a look at some of those other pictures so you get an idea of what those other homes look like. All right, so I look at a couple things. I'm looking at this only has 2 pictures, so I can't tell anything anyhow.
I got the feeling, I don't know why I have the feeling that it's not that he have done much.
Okay. But and if he didn't, then we want to see, did everybody else do a lot of in the house? So let's see this house. Nice pool. They have tile floor. It's an updated kitchen with the shaker cabinets. A lot of it looks like granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. So when you go in there, if you see that his home is in inferior condition, you want to price it closer to the lower side of that. All right, so you're looking at this bathroom. You're seeing that he put, by the way, those things are a little bit pricey. Everyone that I know that did a full wall like that always regrets doing a full wall, because you buy them in 12 by 12 inch panels and they become a little expensive. But I'm just looking at the bathrooms.
This one looks in a good shape.
So when we're talking to him, this one sold for 401. Look, it actually sold over asking price within a week. So when you're talking to him and he says he wants to list his house for over 400, remember, it has to compete with, it's competing with this one. So it has to be in similar, if not the same condition.
Look, she sold this one too.
I think this is.
Look, like the same lady, Valerie?
Oh yeah. Okay, so she was the listing agent on this one and sold the other one. Good. And she sold this one, so she did.
Mm-hmm.
She did a few of these. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie's great people. She's no longer with our office, but she's a great person.
Oh, really? She doesn't work with you guys anymore?
No, she left about a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
But I still love her. She's a great person.
Where did she go? She go to?
Coldwell Banker.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So let's see this other picture. This one has no other pictures as well. So all we have is that one in-house picture. Okay, so if I was to go back to adjustments, I'm still seeing 373 to 401. Okay. At the very end, you can come right in here, finish, and view a CMA. And I'm going to show you what the entire CMA looks like.
So why did he say that he wanna price it the same price, like 390?
Well, we'll see, because this is only going to give me one idea. Okay. Going by this, I don't mind 390, but I don't know. I haven't done a supply and demand yet. All right. So I'm going to show you what I do next. Okay. So I'm seeing a range, and this is where I'm going to kind of start doing something a little bit different than a lot of other agents will do.
Okay.
Because next what I'm going to do is show you a supply and demand.
John, I'm so glad I'm learning this from you because I know you.
I want to make sure you understand it, because
I know, and it's you. That's the way to price it right.
perfect. Yeah, because you know what, doing a CMA is just one way, and I want to price it right, and I want to price it right the first time so that they're not expired. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. And what I'm doing now is I will actually, let me just make sure this is working. All right, cool. It's working. So what I do is when I go to the home, I will actually draw something like this out. Okay. But I'm going to put in here the CMA value that I came up with was, what did I say? 373 to 401. All right. That's the range that I'm going to go in there with. Now, the second thing I'm going to do is, give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Zillow. I don't like Zillow, and I don't put any stock into Zillow. However, I do realize that buyers do go to Zillow, and they want to see what the house is worth. They like to think that the Zestimate is how much the house is worth, and it couldn't be any further from the truth.
I tell you, last year, the only listing I have last year, the guy was so mad at me because the Zillow estimate was like $100,000 less than the listing price.
Yeah, and you know, the Zillow estimate
he was mad at me because I couldn't change the Zillow price.
Yep. Okay, so the Zillow estimate is showing, and I'm going to write it over here. The Zillow estimate is showing estimated value of 410. Okay. I also will go to realtor.com. I'll also go to Redfin. I go to IMAP, and I'll do a supply and demand. And I'll explain why I do all these other ones.
Okay.
So if I go to redfin.com, I'm going to punch in the address. I just want to see what they're recommending. Doesn't mean that's what it's worth. It doesn't mean really anything.
Exactly. It's what they are putting in there.
So Redfin is saying an estimated value of 377. Realtor.com is estimating $374. Okay. I'm going to go and check something on IMAP because I just want to see what IMAP is saying as well. I'm not going to show really how to get into IMAP and how to do a CMA through IMAP. I'm just going to put in a search through them and see what it comes up as. Can you hear music in the background, by the way?
A little bit, not that loud.
My wife is downstairs. She's singing. She's like cleaning or cooking or doing something, but she's singing down there with the baby.
It's good. It's good music.
She's she has the music turned up and she's enjoying it.
That's good.
Okay, so IMAP actually has a range of estimated range of 401. Okay, so now let's take a look at supply and demand. So with supply and demand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the MLS and I'm going to show you how I do this. So with the supply and demand, I know by looking at these prices that I could price the house in two different ranges. I could price it between 375 to 400,000, or I could price it 400,000 to 425. All right. Now the reason I do $25,000 increments is because we know that buyers will typically look at homes in $25,000 increments at a time. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and you may have seen John Dietz do this as well, ABCD. ABCD, A is homes that are active. Okay, A is homes that are active. B is homes that have sold in the last 6 months. C is homes that have sold each month. And D is months of inventory. Okay. So great. So let me go ahead and share my screen again over here because I want to show you how I get these numbers now. So I'm going to go to the map again. I'm not going to look in the subdivision. Now I'm going to go as far as 3 miles out. 987 Northwest 126. And I just want to see what homes are, what the other competition is. Because nobody's coming over and saying, hey, Marisol, I want to live in Lakeview West 158-44.
Exactly.
They're saying, I like to live out in that Eagle Trace area. So I'm going to go ahead and select over here. And I'm going to make a circle. And I'm going to go 3 miles out. All right, so all these homes are for sale right now, but I'm going to check in that range. So I'm going to say
75 to 400.
375 to 400. And I want to see how many homes are active. So here, oops, sorry, 375 to 400 in that range.
You better change single family, no?
I got to change single family. All right. So I see that there are 9 homes that are active. You see that? And now I want to see how many have sold in the last 6 months. Closed sale, 0 to 180. And there are 41 homes that have sold in the last 6 months. So now I'm going to go over to the other range, the other price range.
400 to 425.
400 to 425. I know that 12 homes are active. And let's see what is closed sales. 35 homes have sold in the last 6 months. So now let's go back over to my whiteboard. You saw how I did that, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Oops. Where did I lose my previous whiteboard?
No worries. I took notes here, so.
Okay. I know it's here somewhere. New whiteboard, save to whiteboard. No, I don't know where it is, and it's disappeared on me.
What you need? I
Okay.
have the information here.
I'll just rewrite it again. So in that 375 to 400 price range, okay, I know that there are 9 actives,
41 sold in the last
41 have
month.
sold, and that's in the last 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in this price range, I'm going 400 to 425.
12 actives.
12 active.
35 sold.
35 sold. Okay, great. So now what I want to find out is how many homes have sold each month. So what I'm going to do is take B, that 41, and I'm going to divide that by 6.
6.
Okay, because remember that's going to tell me how many months. How many homes have sold each month on average. So in that first bracket, I'm seeing 6.8 homes are selling each month. The second one, I'm taking 35 homes, divided that by 6, and that's saying 5.8 homes are selling each month. All I did was just take B and divide that by 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then to determine D, I want to find out how many, how long will it take for those 9 homes to sell? Okay, so if what I do is I'll take that 9 and I'll divide that by 6.8. And that's going to give me 1.32. And I'll explain how to.
D is the what? D is
D
C
is A divided by
by
C.
C. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So like in 400 price point, I'm going to take 12 homes. I'm going to divide that by 5.8, and that's going to give me 2.7. 2.07. So I'll make that 2.1 months of inventory. All right. So Marisol, the way to explain this is there are 9 homes that's active. These are 9 homes in your area that's active for sale. These are your competition. At the current rate of 6.8 homes selling each month, if no new homes come on the market, it's going to take 1.3 months to sell all 9 of those homes. Okay.
1.3 months?
Yep, 1.3 months. However, in the 400 range, there are 12 homes that's on the market, and the current trend is 5 to 6 homes are selling each month, which means it's going to take 2.1 months to sell that home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Marisol, just by looking at this, where do you think we should sell the home? Which range?
Just one moment. 6.8 homes selling each month?
Correct.
Okay. So it's gonna take okay, I got it.
So it's going to take 1.3 months to sell all 9 of those active homes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if almost 7 homes are selling in this price point every month, and only 6 of those are selling each month, which range should we sell the house? What do you think?
75 to 400.
I agree, because in this price range, there's more competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's more competition, and less are selling each month.
And taking longer.
And it's taken longer. So you know what? I agree. I'm going to cut that out. So now I have already decided this is the price point I'm selling at. I'm selling it between 375 and 400.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now remember, so we said there are 9 homes that are active, and we want to be in the best third in terms of pricing. So that means a third of that, we're going to want to be the top 3 in that price point, in that bracket. Just want to make sure you're still following me.
See, I am, because you know what? I've been watching John Dietz when he explained this too, so it's been easy for me to follow you.
Perfect. So if I'm looking at this, I want to be the best third in that price point. I'm seeing homes. The lowest price home in that price point is 376, 387, 387. The top third price is I want to be $387,000. All right. So if you were to say to me right now, John, where should I list the home? I like 387. Okay. I want to see if I could find the other. No, can't find that. I can't go back to the other whiteboard. Otherwise, I would kind of show you. Okay, let me go to, let me erase this. Let me erase this.
Which
Okay,
screen you trying to look for? Because I have everything my notes here.
perfect. So how much is the CMA? 376 to 401?
373.
373 to 401. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
373 to 401, but we already decided that 375 to 400 is the best price, the best
Mm-hmm.
range.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to put. All right, I'm going to put our range is between 375 to 400. How much did Zillow say?
Silo said, no moment. Silo says 410. 410.
Okay. What did
Realtor said 374.
Okay.
Redfin said 377.
Okay.
IMAC, you say the range is 401. The range.
Okay. The range is 401, and then our supply and demand is saying 387. Okay. So if we already decided, and now what I do is I literally show him all these numbers, right? And I'll say, your home value is estimated between 375 to 400.
Mm-hmm.
There's another way we find out homes is through supply and demand, and that's saying that we should price your home strategically at 387 or less.
Mm-hmm.
Zillow, Realtor, Redfin, and IMAP, they're not very accurate, but that's what buyers can go online and see those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Seller, after looking at these numbers, where do you think we should price our home? And I literally will point to this. I literally say, where do you think we should price our home?
Mm-hmm.
If he says 401, right? I'm saying, you know what? Remember, we already decided we were going to stay in this price point between 375 to 400. If he says we should price it at 399, okay, remember, supply and demand is saying that we want to be the best third in terms of pricing among those 9 actives, which is the 387.
He put a price for 390. If he say to price it in the same 390.
If he says he wants to price it at 390,
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. So another thing, what I do is I go like this. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I put in my goal, all right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my goal. I want to get him to say, let's list it at 387.
Mm-hmm.
I also have my yippee skippy number. This is the number that's going to make me super happy. If I can get it,
380.
If I can get 380, I'm going less than that. Let me see. I'm trying to go 3% below market value.
Mm-hmm.
387 minus 3% is going to be 375. So if I can get him to 375, ooh, I am happy. That's going to make that house sell quickly.
387, get it 3% less. Yes, so we don't have to change the market.
Exactly. I love that price.
So it's 375.
Yep. Now, I will also go there in my head with a no higher than number. And that no higher than number is going to be the 387 plus 3%. I'm not going to price a home that's more than 3% over the market value.
380 for 7 plus 3%.
Yep. And that's going to tell me 398.
Okay.
So if he said to me, John, let's price it at 387, I'm saying, here you go. Here's the contract. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
If he says, let's price it at 405, I'm going to go back to the slides and discuss those couple pictures. All right. I want to get him at 387. All right. If he says, let's put it at 389, at 390, that's fine. That's close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going any higher than 398 though.
No, I don't want him to sell it like, I was thinking, I kind of look at the prices last night and I wanted to do this with you because I know it's more, but for what I was looking last night in the MLS, I saw that it was more or less like prices. Now we have to see the condition.
Right.
Because if it's not in a good condition, then he has to lower the price.
Exactly. And remember, that goes back down to that range, 375 to 387. If the home is not in good condition, let's bring it down. However, give me one second. Sorry. But we also saw the other home that was in the CMA that was priced at 401, right? We saw what that looks like.
Exactly.
Okay. So I kind of still like the 387 price. I don't think that's a bad price at all. I think it's a solid price. I think it's going to get it sold. It's also around where he was before. Okay. I personally, I don't hate it. I like that price point, 375 to 400. If you can get it to 375, even better. All right. But this right here is showing, these numbers up here show different ways to get to
a good price.
Valuation. So most people will just say, do the CMA price. Okay. That's one way. A lot of people will just go, buyers look at Zillow. Realtors will look at, realtor.com. Buyers will go there as well. Buyers will go to Redfin. A lazy realtor might just go to IMAP and do their research there. I like to take it a step further when I'm representing the seller and do a supply and demand analysis. That's how I came up with 387. And remember, the way to explain this again is there are 9 homes that's active for sale within 3 miles. 41 have sold in the last 6 months. That means 6.8 homes are selling each month. And at the current trend, if 6.8 homes are selling each month, it's going to take 1.3 months to sell all 9 of these homes. And that's what we refer to as months of inventory.
Okay.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to ask you is, when I checked the listing, I think he was paying 3% to the buyers and 1% to the seller. I don't know if I'm wrong. That's what I saw. So my guess is that he's gonna put out the commission thing again.
Don't worry. No, it's 3% to the transaction broker, 3% to the buyer's agent, and it says 1% to non-represented buyers. That doesn't say anything about the listing compensation. Go for a 6% commission.
Okay. Yes. Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Always negotiate your commission. All right. I'm gonna actually stop the recording right here because this is going over everything with the pricing.
Yes, perfect.
This is how we do a CMA on a property, a single family home, as well as doing a supply and demand and price analysis from there and coming up with other different ways to get a property sold.
Very nice. Very good, John. Very, very good.
Excellent.